Police say when they arrived on scene, they located one victim, 17-year-old Ramisha Parks. Now, she was found here in the driveway just over my shoulder between this cream-colored and white house here. What this Jeep is doing is exactly what you shouldn't do when driving through flooded intersections. This intersection has over 2.5 feet of water. Brian, that's right. We're actually standing in a very active scene right now. I want to point out immediately, 36 of the names is where I'm standing. Just down here, police cruisers rushed by. This officer right here, there's two, as you can see. They have guns drawn. Police are trying to piece together everything that happened, but they say that Nauden was shot while she was inside this home right here. Now, as for the gunmen or gunmen, they believe that they were across the street in this yard. I'm going to have Christian zoom in. You can kind of see all those little yellow flags there. Those are all marking gun shell casings. As you can see, the only thing they still have to do is fix now this major sinkhole. They don't really have a timeline on that yet, but hopefully it will be fixed soon. He was arrested a week earlier for aggressive behavior. A police report even goes as far as saying he would bang on people's windows. So that when you're driving down the road, you don't get that feeling. I like to call it the washboard feeling when you're driving. First, if you start seeing large stashes of canned air show up in your child's room, or if empty cans start more frequently appearing in their trash can. Police say for kids and teens to avoid anyone in an unknown vehicle, even if the people roll down the window and motion for them to come over. A month ago, Garcia's attorneys filed for a motion of discovery, and the state did turn over 14 binders worth of information. John, Mallory, we're here live outside of Pilger, just outside of the town. It's actually closed off from everyone tonight. You can see the state workers guarding it, making sure no one gets in. But before they began their post, we spent the day watching family and friends sift through the remains of homes here in Pilger, but also a few miles away in Stanton. Above the rubble, birds chirp. It's a sound that wasn't heard right after the E4 tornadoes hit Stanton.
Quiet as could be. No birds, no nothing.
Troy Kremlicek says he's sore, but he's alive. He remembers the storm coming in.
Started closing up windows and, listening to the radio, and then they said, it was south and west of Stanton.
He and his wife run a daycare. Monday, they were watching 5 kids. Minutes before it hit, they all got down into the basement.
Amy and I both got about tore out, and that's when everything started falling.
The house came down around them. This is what it used to look like, and this is what it is now, leveled.
It looked bad. It looked really bad to me. Started trying to dig the kids up. And every time I'd move something else would fall.
Troy was scared, but within a few minutes, he heard the voice of a first responder. In just 30 seconds, this entire home was destroyed. They pulled Amy and the 5 children out from the basement here. They got Troy and his friend out from over here. They know how lucky they were to be in the one part of the house still partially intact. Deep bruising all over his body is what Troy's recovering from at Faith Regional Hospital. As for the kids,
they got to go home before I even got out of X-ray.
He hopes he'll get to leave tonight. We also spent part of our day at Faith Regional Hospital in Norfolk. 17 patients were admitted there after the tornadoes hit.
As Erin Murray discovered, Tyler Mancuso says his motivation is simple.
Yes, it's just one song, Pompeii by Bastille, performed a cappella by just one guy, UNL college student Tyler Mancuso.
I originally started making these videos because I have a passion for music, and I just really wanted to do something that would make people happy.
It's certainly not easy. Each box is done in one take, where just one wrong movement can mess up everything.
Well, the video took about 2 weeks to make. It was about 2 days for the audio process and then a week and a half for the video and editing.
And you would think a musical talent like this would take years to perfect, but actually, music's only recently been a part of his life.
It wasn't until I started going to school in Lincoln that I really got interested into music and I started uploading videos to YouTube.
Wait. Have you ever been formally trained on an instrument?
No.
Can you read sheet music?
No.
Ever taken a choir class?
No. Well, in 4th grade I did.
No matter, this musical editing talent is still turning heads.
My video was recently recognized by somebody who works with Ellen DeGeneres, who asked if she could put it on Ellen's blog. So I told her of course, and I shared the news on Facebook, and that's when it really started to blow up.
Hitting close to 17,000 views on YouTube and over 205,000 on MSN.com. And it's all just for...
Because it's fun. And I've always had kind of a dream goal of making a viral video that people could be excited about.
Fun and entertainment. What else do college students have to do? And I actually spoke with Tyler tonight, and he tells me he's been in contact with producers from the Ellen DeGeneres show. No word yet if that will lead to anything, but there's that ongoing discussion.
As Erin Murray reports, neighbors rushed into action, one even running into the flames.
I seen the smoke come up. I thought that's a house on fire, about 8 o'clock in the morning.
First to the flames, Rocky Bollinger tells a neighbor how he did all he could do.
I ran over there. So when I got there, I'm going, I'm breathing heavy. And she goes, my baby's in there, 3-month-old. You got to go in there and get my baby. And the terror in her eyes. And I just thought, in there? She goes, you got to go in there, my baby, 3-month-old. And I thought maybe I could save the baby. So I smashed through the window.
Flames, smoke, heat. But it's what he heard that is truly burned in his mind.
The baby was crying. Heartbreaking. And the mom was, I've never seen that kind of terror in anybody before in my life.
What seemed like an hour was only 20 seconds before Bollinger came back out.
I could hear the baby and it was still crying. I could still hear it. I couldn't get in. I wanted to rip the wall off, man. I couldn't get it though.
He was so close, but still so far. Leg bleeding, lungs filled with smoke, he drove himself to the hospital. While firefighters attacked the flames, Mother Champagne Harn was led away. Neighbor Nikki Abbott was the one to notice Harn wasn't wearing socks or shoes, so Abbott quickly gave her her own.
And she took the socks and she was very grateful and thanked me, and she just said that she wants her babies, she just wants her kids. And as a mom, that's heartbreaking.
Tears fill the eyes of almost everyone in the Maplewood Estates. 3-month-old Brandon Rodriguez and his 3-year-old brother Gabriel died. Their 1-year-old sister Adriana and Harn were taken to the hospital. Just back from the hospital, Bollinger is still shaken up, but knows he did the best he could.
I told her I was sorry I couldn't get the baby.
Tonight, he says, will be spent at church, praying for the family, mourning the loss of young life, and thanking God for his. John Mallory, we're here live outside of the home, and as you can see, a memorial has already started to grow. The guardrail's been replaced on Highway 36 near Bennington. It's the first time the Kane families come to see their father's crash site.
I don't see too many people surviving an accident like this. I mean, taking out 2 trees.
Last Sunday, 63-year-old Richard Kane crashed into this hidden brushy embankment. Coming here and seeing the path he took isn't easy. Though it does make the family very thankful to the man that rescued Kane, Jim Muscle.
I think if Jim wasn't out there working his cattle that day, I don't think that my dad would be around today.
16 hours Kane laid in his crumpled truck. Muscle told us that day how he saw the red truck from across his cattle field. Now for the Kanes,
Sorry about that.
saying thank you comes with a few tears. And they know one thing's for sure.
I think that Jim needs to be recognized.
Muscle not only saved Kane, but he comes to check on him too. The family says it means so much. Today, they did share more about Kane's recovery.
He was opening his eyes. He started answering our questions with a yes nod or shaking his head no.
There's still a lot of healing left to do, so this family heads back to the hospital. John Mallory, we're here live at the Nebraska Medical Center. Now, Kane is in stable condition. His doctors are hoping to remove his breathing tubes soon. Reporting live with photographer Christian Shampoo, Erin Murray, WOWT 6 News.
But he is also turning his new talent into a way to help others.
Fishing is more than just a hobby for Michael Jarecki.
It's fun reeling in the fish because it's sort of like tug of war.
It's his passion, and like most passions, there was a moment he became hooked. But it didn't happen out here on the water, but here in a hospital bed.
I had pneumonia, and we're pretty sure that's what got me sick.
After months of fighting a sickness that took his energy and made it hard to breathe, doctors finally had answers.
I had bronchitis obliterans. I didn't really know what that was.
It's a very rare lung disease that permanently damaged 80% of his lung function. Michael says it feels like
Breathing through a straw all day to like a normal person.
What are the tough things that are harder now to do?
Play sports, run.
It also came with tough realities.
It's a scary thought thinking about what is your child's life going to be like in the future. It's not going to be the normal life that other kids have.
But Michael thinks of life like any 11-year-old, limitless, infinite.
Everything that I do, like IVs, I've done before, and I know nothing's gonna go wrong.
But it could go wrong. He gets sick again. This disease could take his life. What keeps him going is fishing. It's his reviving breath back to being a kid. And it also helped him come up with this idea.
A fish-a-thon to help raise money for the Child Foundation. And it helps research so we can find cures for things.
So as he casts his line for the 100th, 1000th, millionth time, we see it's way more than just a hobby, but a passion worth reeling in. Erin Murray, WOWT 6 News.